Hey everybody, Tyler Zeck here, founder of the Marketing Mentorship Academy and the creator of the Essential Marketing System for Small Business, and welcome to this week's Marketing Minute. I'm glad that you are here, as always. Welcome to the podcast. And today I want to talk to you about a very important subject. And this kind of comes on the tail end of a blog article that I actually posted some time ago, and it was one of my better received blog articles. Actually, we got a very good response, and there's been a lot of activity with this post. And what it was about was the demise of a particular Taco Bell franchise near my house. And what I covered in that blog was two kind of primary mistakes that I felt that Taco Bell had made at the time that had contributed to their downfall. And it's interesting, if you are paying attention out there, I don't think it's any real secret that Taco Bell kind of on the whole is struggling. I know that I still see their commercials out there in the world, but I honestly can't think of a single location in my city of Calgary, Alberta. I can't think of a single Taco Bell location that still exists anywhere. So clearly, this is a franchise that maybe has had its day, right? And I'm sure that, with the right strategy, with the right tools, they might be able to come back and be better than ever. But right now, I think that they're struggling. And, I can't necessarily speak for Taco Bell as a whole franchise. I don't know enough about them. But I can speak to my experience in dealing with Taco Bell locally. And I think there are some real lessons that we can learn. And just in order to help you kind of help paint that picture, let me kind of explain to you some of the things that I saw in this particular Taco Bell location that really indicated to me that they weren't going to make it. All right, it became evident over a long period of time. And the number one thing that really became evident was that this Taco Bell location was getting more and more and more and more run down year after year after year. I mean, this place was built presumably in the late 80s, early 90s, so it wasn't a new restaurant by any stretch, but it still looked like it was trapped back there in the 80s and 90s. The colors, the style, everything about it was very much trapped back then, so it had not been updated to modern times. Now, that by itself isn't necessarily a big deal if they had been continuing to at least maintain and keep that old look still looking nice. But it was worn down, it was tattered, the seats were torn, and even the exterior of the building looked like it was practically falling apart. And if you have a business that from the outside, especially a restaurant in my opinion, but if it looks dirty, if it looks run down, then you're certainly not putting your best foot forward. All right. Now, why this particular Taco Bell location did never invested the time or the money to improve is anybody's guess. But I have a feeling, and again, this is just pure speculation, but I have a feeling that it had to do with that particular owner of that particular franchise. Because when you would go into this Taco Bell to actually order food, of course, Taco Bell, one of the things that they're most known for are their little hot sauce packs, right? They have these little packs and they have the cool sayings on them and things like that. And so whenever you would go to this particular, and I shouldn't be talking about Taco Bell, clearly, I'll admit it, I liked Taco Bell. I kind of feel bad for them because I actually did enjoy their food. And now that I can't find a location, where am I going to get my fries supreme? Right? Some of you are probably thinking, oh my God, you would eat that? But yeah, I actually enjoyed it. So now there's no more fries supreme for me and I'm disappointed about it. So maybe this is my rant. But regardless, I would go in, I would order myself a burrito or something, and I would get a single packet of hot sauce for my full-size burrito. And of course, these little hot sauce packets, they don't go very far. So after this has happened once or twice where they don't really give me any hot sauce packets, I started saying, hey, can you please give me more hot sauce, more of this sauce with my burrito? And so he would make this face like, why do I need to give you more hot sauce? And then he would give me one extra packet, right? And it kind of blew me away, where I'm thinking to myself, you're honestly going to limit my experience of the meal because you're too cheap to give me a 2-cent packet of hot sauce, or 5 cent or 10 cent. I can't imagine, these little packets of hot sauce, right? And this is a prime example of being penny wise and pound foolish. Right? Because if you focus, and we talked about this last week, we talked about delivering that ultimate customer experience. Well, if you aren't willing to invest in giving that ultimate customer experience, then you're going to struggle. So that's one lesson that we can take from this. But I think that the bigger lesson is that the small things really do make a difference. And sometimes we can look at some of these small things and we think, oh, well, that's trivial, right? At the end of the day, nobody really cares about that. Nobody's really looking at that. But in actuality, people are paying attention. All right. If the outside of your building looks like it's falling apart, then there's a very real chance that people passing by aren't going to be as motivated to step into your store. Right, because that experience right off the bat, they're already weary. They're already second guessing. Right, this is like the financial planner who drives the biggest clunker rust bucket vehicle car you've ever seen in your entire life, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that as a financial planner you need to have be driving around in Mercedes or anything like that. I mean, obviously be fiscally responsible, but if you're asking people to trust you with their money, then you need to be able to at least generate a certain level of perceived success for yourself in order to be trustworthy. Okay, so this is really, it comes down to branding, and it comes down to that customer experience. It comes down to perception, and those little things make a very big difference. So I encourage you to take some time right now to look around your business and ask yourself, what are some of the little things that maybe you've just been letting slide, right? It might even be something as little as on the administration front, right? In terms of extra stuff that's out on your desk, or undone filing or undone accounting that is creating mental weight for you. And you might be thinking to yourself that, oh, well, that doesn't really affect my ability to grow my business. It's just kind of, it's a problem on the back end that one day I'm going to get to. But no, the reality is that does affect your ability to grow. All right, those uncompleted projects create mental stress on you, and that needs to be fixed. That's a small thing that, if fixed, could make a big difference in your business. So look around your office, look around if you have a storefront, take a look around there and ask yourself, what are the things that we can begin to do to enhance the overall look, the overall feel, the overall functionality of our business. The Japanese have a word called Kaizen. And Kaizen, its most literal translation is basically small improvements. All right. The idea behind it is that you want to every single day be focused on making small improvements in your business. And those small improvements over time result in a massive difference. All right, minor course corrections each and every day. So the small things matter. Go ahead, take that look around, pick out some things that you're going to do right now to begin to spruce it up a little bit. All right, I hope that you found that helpful. That's today's Marketing Minute. I look forward to seeing you next week. Make sure if you're not subscribed to receive these, go ahead and subscribe so you get them every single week. And until I see you on next week's episode, keep going and keep growing, because you're worth it.